Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference.
Hi everybody, it's Cindy here with Stampin' Chick Creations. It is Monday, and it's been a busy Monday already. It's Monday morning right now while I'm shooting this video. Morning's not going how I had planned, of course, because that's usually what happens when you have your day planned, right? All right, so if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy this. I try to go do a video every Monday if I can. My internet has not been helping with this, so this is why I've switched over to videos as opposed to going live. So I'm hoping that this works well. I like the fact that videos you can actually go back and pause and go back and find all of them easily in one spot. So I hope you do as well. I love hearing your feedback and I love seeing your samples of the cards that we create together. So this one's a little bit of a fun fold, a little different. We're not using really any extra paper than we would with a normal card, but it is definitely going to be a fun fold. So before we get into that, just a couple things I want to mention is I have posted my October classes. They are all there right now. They all have a new Google form that I'm using to kind of keep me in line as to what's going on. It's going to be a very, very busy October. So I need to stay organized and make sure I don't miss anybody or anything like that. The other thing I'm super excited to say is that I am going back to in-person classes in October. I was really, really hoping to do it in September, but honestly, September is so busy, I just can't pull it off. So October is the date. So the classes will all be in person, which is amazing. Mind you, if COVID hits again, we will go back virtual. However, all classes are available right now as of today on as an in-person class. However, most classes do also have a virtual option. Okay, so I'm going to be doing both, which is so exciting for me because I've missed in-person classes very, very much. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be offering the in-person class, and then either a couple days before or a couple days after, I will be offering the virtual version of the exact same class. The classes will not be different, exact same cards. I need 5 people in the virtual platform to go live, though, to do an actual in-person virtual class. If I don't have 5 people, I will still run the class. What I will do is I will just turn it into a YouTube video where you will have exclusive link to go in and look at that class. Okay, so you can still participate in all the classes. I feel like this is kind of the best of both worlds. So if you're not comfortable being in person, or if you're at a distance, you have the option to still join us, and then you still get me one-on-one kind of thing. So I hope you guys love that. I can't wait to hear your feedback on the classes and what you think. I struggle designing classes. If you know me, I change and I change and I change because I always want to make sure that I have the perfect classes for you guys. So I'd love to hear your feedback and your input on that. All right, let's get started because you're not here to listen to me blabber, are you? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so what we're doing tonight is a little different of a card. You are going to need your paper trimmer. And I'm going to actually start with the card that I designed first. So I told you needed just a standard card base. I'm just going to get my measurements here so I don't get messed up. So your standard card base, and of course you're going to use your bone folder to crease those if you haven't already. If you don't have a bone folder in your toolkit, you need to have one in your toolkit, okay? And then I told you that you needed a piece of white that is 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. I told you that you needed a piece of designer series paper that's 5 1/4 by 1 3/4, and this is from the Gnome paper. I just love it. It's amazing. I told you needed a piece of white that is 2 1/2 by 3. And then I told you needed a piece of coordinating color cardstock that's 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so hopefully you have all those measurements. I did tell you needed an embossing folder, your favorite stamps, and any embellishments or anything you want to decorate your card with. Okay, so we need to do one cut and one score, and then your card's going to come together. Okay, so what we need to do is you need to bring in your paper trimmer. You're going to open up your card. You're going to slide it in. So your crease is on the right hand side, and we're going to line this up at 1 3/4 inches. So 1 3/4 inch, which is the big tick line just before the 2, if you're not familiar with where 1 3/4 is. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to cut. Okay. So now I have these 2 pieces. All right. Now, this piece that we cut off, I want you to put that back in your paper trimmer, and I want you to put a score mark at 1 1/2. Okay. 1 1/2 is what we're scoring at. All right, we're done with our paper trimmer. So let's put that away for right now. All right, so this is what we ended up with. Okay, so what we want to do first is I'm going to flag my little piece here. You do not have to flag your piece. I like to flag mine. I should use my flag punch, but it's behind me and I'm not going to get up to go grab it. So I'm going to find about the halfway mark. If you want to measure this to make sure it's perfect, you can. And I'm just going to snip up a little bit, and then I'm going to come in from each side, and I'm going to come up to that center point where I cut. Okay, so we're just basically notching out this. Okay, so then I want you to fold on your score line, and I might have notched that out a little bit too much, but that's fine. I'll figure it out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually add adhesive here onto the back. Now, where you place this does not matter. Okay, totally up to you. You can put it over this way, you can put it in the middle, you can put it on this side. It does not matter, okay? This card is designed as a landscape card. However, if you want to do it as a portrait card, you can do it both ways. There's not a right or a wrong to this card. There most times is not when I design a card for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive on the back part of my flag. So I'm using my Stampin' Seal. And if I was really on the ball, I would have my silicone mat right here, which is right in front of me. Okay, so for this card, I'm going to actually put this one about there. So my score line is going to line up with my edge of my card. Okay. Hopefully straight. And that's going to go like that. So again, I'm going to take my bone folder, give myself a nice crisp crease there. And that's what I should have as of right now. Okay. Now, your designer series paper, what we're going to do, oh, I just did something really silly, actually. That's fine. I'll modify it as we go. Okay. I forgot to do a step, but it's fine. I can do it after. So I'm going to put my designer series paper here just to cover up my flag here. So again, because my card is in blue, I'm going to do the blues and the snowflakes, which I don't want to think about snowflakes. Eee, yuck. I love fall. I hate winter. Okay, so remember I told you need your embossing folder? That's the part that I forgot to do. Oopsies. So I'm going to do this snowflake. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring in my embossing machine here. And I'm going to emboss the front, this blue part here, the part that we cut away from. Okay, so I'm going to emboss this. So put this in. You don't have a Stampin' Emboss machine. Oh, I love it. It's like my favorite tool, I think. I have a hard time picking my favorite tools because there's so many that I feel like they're all my favorite tools. All right, now, so this is what I have, right? And then I have this like this. Now, if you wanted to emboss this piece here, your flag, you can. However, this is going to go on top. And this is going to go here. So you're not really going to see much of it. So totally going to leave it up to you if you would like to emboss that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bring in, I'm going to clean this because I used, on my mock-up card, I used a different color blue. And I'm going to show you that card as soon as I'm done here. Just to show you, same card, different colors. How different they look. Okay, so for this one I'm using, it's a Season of Magic and Wonder, and I just realized this is not even on straight, which is probably going to throw my stamping right off. Okay, so I'm going to use my actually I'm not going to use Night of Navy because my Night of Navy is dried up, but if I use Night of Navy ink, but we're going to pretend this is actually Starry Sky that I'm using, which you've heard me say before actually looks very, very Night of Navy. Even though it's not intended to be. So I know that this stamp was not cut properly. So I'm being very cautious as to how I stamp that, because I didn't want to over stamp. But I just could tell here that when they cut mine, it's got this extra. So okay, so then what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in, because I think this looks kind of plain Jane, I'm going to bring in Balmy Blue. Whoops, sorry, just hit my camera. I'm going to bring my Balmy Blue, and I'm going to use, so I'm using the Joyful Flurry stamp set. Actually, I could have used Joyful Wishes on the front. Shoot, I didn't even see that. That might have looked actually nicer. I'm toying with turning my card over. Anyway, I'm not going to. So I'm using Balmy Blue here. And I'm just kind of filling in a little bit of that white. Now, I could go all the way around. I just like to kind of go on either side, to be quite honest. I just think it adds a really nice little filler. So now I'm ready to glue this down. I'm getting low on my adhesive, I can see. So I'm sure I'll run out partway through this video. Okay, so now when I go to glue this on, I do not want to glue the entire back of this, right? I want to just kind of glue this portion. So the safest way to do that is to actually glue onto your flag, as opposed to gluing onto your entire card base. Okay, so now you're like, okay, but Cindy, I still have a piece of white left over. And I'm like, yeah, you do. And we're going to deal with that in just a second here. What I want to do is I want to bring in my rhinestones. And I'm actually going to, I'm going to color some rhinestones here. I'm just trying to decide what color I want to do. I think I might actually do, this is Dark Night of Navy. So I want some for the center of my snowflake here. So I'm just taking my Night of Navy blend. So you've seen me do this before. You just need to be very cautious when you're doing this, that you don't ruin the tips of your blends when you're doing this. But you can actually color your rhinestones any color to coordinate with your cards, which is awesome. All right, so then what I do is I take my Take Your Pick tool, which is over here. You just let that dry for just a second. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to put this in the center there. Pick this one up. Put this one in the center here. And there we go. Okay, so that's a great way if you have rhinestones. They're very inexpensive, and then you can color them whatever color you need. They just have to be with an alcohol-based marker. Okay, so now your white piece that is left over, that you're wondering where in the heck are we putting it, it's actually going to go here, and this is where you're going to write your message. Okay, so again, this card was designed as a landscape card on purpose. However, if you wanted to do this as a portrait card, you definitely could. There's lots of opportunity here for the design of this card. Okay, so there you go. That's your first card. So it's just a fun fold. And again, if you wanted to do it like this, you've seen me design cards like this where it is portrait. So this would just go the other direction. But super, super fun card. Very, very simple. Okay, so let me put my stamps away while you guys are finishing up your cards. I stamp much quicker than most of you guys I know. So it might seem like I'm rushing through. I'm not. It's just I'm just tend to be a quick stamper. Okay, so that card is done. So let's go. I told you I'd show you the first card I did. So this is the exact same card, totally different colors, but definitely. I'm just going to turn down the light a little bit here. I feel like it's a little bit bright. That might be better, is it? Okay. So that's what this one I did this morning. And then this is the exact same one. Same paper, different colors. I just pulled out different colors out of this designer series paper. So this one I used Pacific Point. This one I used Balmy Blue. Okay. So there's that one. My next one I'm going to do is probably one I'm not going to enjoy the most. I shouldn't say enjoy. I don't know. I like it, but I'm a little bit not sure it's going to look the way I think it's going to look in my head. All right, so let's get started. So this one, again, you're going to bring in your paper trimmer. you're going to line it up at 1 3/4. 1 3/4. Right there. And then you're going to cut. Okay. And then this one, I am going to score at what size did I say? At 1 1/2. Scoring at 1 1/2. I'm done with my paper trimmer, so it can go back here. I'm going to come in and I'm going to trim this. I probably won't go as deep with my flag as I did with the last one. So if you have the punch, you're guaranteed to get this beautiful every time. Okay, so then I'm going to glue on the back. And again, my adhesive is running out. Let's see how far I can get into this video before I need to change it. All right, so now this one, I think this one will go over this way. Like that. Okay. Now, here's my Designer Series paper. I can actually, this is the Simply Harvest paper, and it's really, really pretty. And I can actually sponge this to change the color. So I'm going to do that. So this is a really great idea to do when you have cards or Designer Series paper that has some white on it. You can take your blending brush, which is, these are phenomenal. I have many of these, but for some reason I keep just using this one. You can just bring in some color here. So I'm just looking for some Cajun Craze. So I'm going to take my Cajun Craze. I'm going to tap this in, and I'm just going to roll this over my paper. And so you can see how now anything that's white on this paper is actually turning Cajun Craze. And the reason I chose Cajun Craze as the color was because the paper I'm using as my coordinating color is Cajun Craze. So I'm actually going to bring in some crushed curry as well, just to make it pop a little bit. And I might even bring in some green, just to give it even more color. Okay, so I can change my paper colors just by a few simple steps. So this is garden green. So you can do this with a variety of papers. So if we have a whole collection of black and white Designer Series paper, you could totally do this with that, which is really, really fun. So you see how, oh, I just stuck my finger in the ink. You can see how I went from just a plain black and white to a colored base. Oops, I got stuck there. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back, Okay, so now I need to glue this down. Again, fingers crossed my glue doesn't pooch out on me, because it might. Let's get close to the end. All right, so I'm going to glue this down here. Hopefully straight. Hopefully even. There we go. I'm going to put, oh, you know what? I did it again. I forgot to emboss my, I forgot to emboss my front. Ugh, I get so involved in the layout of it that I forget to emboss. Oops, 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 oops. Okay. There you go. So for this one, I was going to use the wood grain embossing folder. So I want this to actually go this way. So when you're doing this, you might want to give some consideration as to which way your embossing folder is going as opposed to on your card. Because if I went this way, my wood grain is actually going landscape. But if I actually turn it this way, then my wood grain is going portrait. So it's going more up and down, which is what I want because my card is going to close that way, right? Okay, so I'm just going to come over here. Instead of moving my die cutter again, I'm just going to come off camera for a second. And I am going to run that through. Oops, that's a big noise. Scares everybody every... Oh, well, it helps when you put the paper in correctly, actually. Let's try that again. My paper slipped out. And I did not notice. So only part of my card front was embossed. So this one might look a little bit funny, but that's fine. I think we can figure it out. All right, here we go. So it's hard to see it because it's black, but it is there, I promise you. And then I'm going to use the Cajun Craze here, and I realized I did not get the stamp set out for this one. So I want to use the pumpkins, which I cannot find right here. Okay. So Cajun Craze is going to go here. I'm going to use the Hello Harvest stamp. And I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm thinking I want to use this here, just in the center. And I might throw a little bit of a, no, actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to keep this like this. I'm going to stamp this in black. And then I might bring in some colors. I love this Hello Harvest. I really didn't expect to like it as much as I am liking it, to be quite honest. I needed a new fall set, so I thought this one would be fun. And I'm really, really enjoying it. Okay, so now what I would do here is I would bring in my blends. And I would be, oh, there's a bug in here. Just kind of coloring these in. So I like to make these look like sunflowers because if you know me, well, you know sunflowers are my favorite flower. Okay. So I just did that with the dark. Now this is the light. And the light here is, the tip on it is a little bit ruined. So it's hard to get close to the edges like I want, but that's fine. And then I'm going to bring in my brown, possibly crumb cake maybe. This is light crumb cake. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this is one of the ones that I need to toss out the door. I'm going to try this one dark. I'm starting to get a pile of items in front of my blends that I need to move. There we go. Okay, and then I would bring in my greens to do the leaves, and I would probably use my light. And then I can go back in and add the dark. But you see how this is kind of coming together. So if you've picked an image where you need to do some coloring, you probably want to stop the video, get your coloring done, and then start back up. And if you're just watching this video, you don't want to sit here and watch me color, you are more than welcome to speed ahead. All right, so I'm going to glue this one down as such. Okay, and again, I want to make sure that I'm only gluing this portion here, right? So I don't want to glue the entire thing, so I'm just going to glue onto my flag. I just realized this camera, I was wondering why I was feeling claustrophobic. I have a camera stand beside me that is making me feel very claustrophobic today. Okay, now, I already did the white piece on the inside. So there's my second card. And I could bring in, I'm not even sure if these are current or not anymore, but I'm going to bring in these gold gilded gems. And I'm going to actually bring them one here. Oh, come on. Come on. one here. And then maybe a small one down there. Okay. Just to kind of break that up a little bit. Okay, so that's your second card. Now, your third card. So I'm really super excited for you guys to tell me what you think of this layout. Do you like it? Do you not like it? And I'm excited to hear what you have to say about the upcoming classes. All right, so that one is done. My last one, oh, and again, I forgot to get the stamp set out for this. I thought I was overly prepared today and realized quickly that I'm not even close to being prepared. All right, so this is what happens when your brain's going 90 miles an hour. All right, so for this one, this is our final card. I'm going to use, this is, what color is this? No, it's not garden green. This is shaded spruce, which is not a color that I use very often. But I am trying to use my cardstock that is pre-cut for me, so I'm not wasting. So again, 1 3/4. 1 3/4. Oops, that's my, I feel like that was not 1 3/4. That was absolutely not 1 3/4. So I may have to adjust this one a little bit. Because I got distracted by my phone beeping on me. Okay. That's fine. This one will just be a little bit modified. Not a big deal. I just won't see as much there. Okay, and then this one I'm still going to score at 1.5. Here we go. Okay. So yes, so this one's going to be a little bit different just because I did not cut at 1 3/4, but it does not matter. The depth of this or the thickness of this does not really matter. It's not going to affect your card. It's just going to be a little bit thinner. Not a big deal. Okay, so there's not much in paper crafting that should stress you out. If it's stressing you out, we're clearly doing something wrong. Okay, so don't ever let paper crafting stress you out. Not cool if it's stressing you out. I'm going to go this way on this one as well, but in a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to actually use these. These leaves are from last year, from the Christmas mini. And I'm going to use these because I think they go really nice with the peppermint paper. I don't think they're current anymore, but I'm going to go ahead and use them. Because I think we all have embossing folders that are similar or that we love or whatever the case might be. So there's no right or wrong. And we have to use the products that we have as well. We can't always be buying new, although we would love to. We can't be. Okay, so there's my embossing. Okay, so now my stripes, these are from the candy cane, the sweet candy cane bundle. That's what this paper is. So if you're wondering. Okay, so I'm going to put this down about there. I'm going to do my white. So you see how quickly these cards can come together without a lot of effort, really. So because these ones are just going to butt up a little bit more. So you're just going to see this a little bit more like that. So again, I could do that, I suppose, but anyway, I'm going to try to go this way. What do I want this to say? I think Marion Bright, maybe. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have. Marion Bright. Marion Bright would work, and then I can do some greenery. So I'm going to do Marion Bright in red. So you'll see that I'm trying to keep the cards very generic, and there is a reason for that. A lot of times when I create cards, I find people don't want anything very specific. So I'm trying to keep the cards more generic. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in, what color did I say? Shaded Spruce. And I'm going to bring in these little leaves. I'll show you the little leaves here. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of go, whoa, boy, my Shaded Spruce is very, very dry. You guys see how dry that is? Not cool. What am I doing here? So Shaded Spruce is supposed to be very, very deep of a color, and mine is not, clearly. So frustrating. Oh, now I overstamped. Okay, let's just, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to use Shaded Spruce because this is making me angry that it's not inked up. I need to re-ink that one. Okay, let's go Garden Green. Let me do Marion Bright again. Sometimes this is what happens when you go live. Or you do a video. Things just don't go exactly how you planned. But you know what? It's okay. Not a biggie. I think we all have boo-boos that happen. Okay, that one worked. Let's see what my Garden Green looks like. I'm not even holding the block right. There, that works. Okay. So this is a distinctive stamp, which you may not know what that means, but it just means it's got a lot more detail in it. It looks much more realistic. Okay, so there's my Marion Bright. I hope you guys can see that. I'm going to wipe that down. So if you've ever worked with a red ink pad, you'll know that they are very, very messy in the sense that it stains your fingers for a couple days. But the really nice thing about our stamps is that, or our ink pads, is that they're all washable. So although they might stain your fingers for a day or two, it will come out, I promise. I've never had anybody tell me that it's never come out. So let me put these stamps back while I'm here. This way it keeps my cleanup simple dimple. Simple dimple. What the heck is that all about? All right. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this down. Let's see if my glue is going to hold up for this whole video. It's kind of caught on there. There you go. Marion Bright. Again, what did I tell you? Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. This is going to go here. Oh, like, let's try to do that straight, eh? Okay, that's not straight. What is happening right now? Okay. Okay, so there's your third card. All right, let's see. We have 1, 2, and 3. So these are standard size cards, right? Standard bases, no extra paper, just a different way to fold your cards, okay? I need to put some bling on this one. So this is the one I did earlier. So you can see how simple they are without using a whole lot of paper, okay? So I hope you enjoyed those cards. I would love to see what you are creating. You will notice that some of the ladies last week won a prize. So post your pictures and we'll have to see about a prize. All right. So thank you everybody for joining me. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'd love to hear your feedback. Don't forget to check out the October classes because I expect now that they're back to in person, they will sell very, very quickly. And I am limiting spots because of COVID protocols. Okay. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Hope you're having a great day and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made